What's up, guys? So today's video we're going to be it's Mother's Day, so we're going to be looking at that, but rather than just showing you like what I got and did for my mum and how I spent the day, we're going to take a little bit more of a deeper dive into it. Probably going to do the same with Father's Day, to be completely honest, because the question probably needs to be asked more of it than it does of Mother's Day. But we're looking into why we celebrate Mother's Day. Because if you're wanting to just celebrate your mother, you could just do that on her birthday, and then it's a little bit more special because she's not sharing it with every other mother in existence. So why do we celebrate as a society? Why do we celebrate Mother's Day? Well, I am on a website called Culture Trip, which the link will be in the description down below, and it says this about it. Mother's Day is a time held dear by families across the world, a prompt for children who have moved away to come home and make a fuss of the women who brought them into the world. And again, a prompt for your kids to come and spend time with you for your birthday. You could just, why specifically Mother's Day? Well, mothers and mother figures are indispensable. They're like the first people we ever know when we enter the world, and they love and care for us as we grow up. Once a year, countries around the world celebrate Mother's Day, a day dedicated to all mothers so that we can show our appreciation. Rooted in different traditions and enacted by individuals who recognise the imperative of commemorating women, every country that celebrates Mother's Day does so in varied and gratifying ways. In the UK and Ireland, Mother's Day can be confused with Mothering Sunday, as the two share the same date. In the 16th century, Mothering Sunday began as a Catholic and Protestant Christian holiday where people would visit their mother church, the church in which they were baptised, or the one they grew up attending, for Later Sunday, which is the fourth Sunday of Lent. So it would have been earlier in the year than today. This was potentially the only day in the year on which families could all be together, as servants were only allowed to respite from their duties on that particular Sunday. On the way to church, children would pick flowers to make bouquets to give to their mothers, and this eventually evolved into a tradition of gift giving. Mothering Sunday became less practiced through the early 20th century until the 1950s. It does not say the word late. Why did I add that in? Until the 1950s, when merchants noticed a commercial opportunity paving the way for today's traditions in the UK. Mother's Day traditions in the United States began with a woman by the name of Anna Jarvis. She once overheard her mother, a social activist who formed clubs to promote peace and friendship during the American Civil War, so 1861 to 65. So she once overheard her mother pray for Commemoration Day to acknowledge the service mothers give to humanity. After her mother's death, Jarvis spent the early years of the 20th century campaigning relentlessly and eventually successfully for Mother's Day to be recognised, honouring all mothers. Similarly to citizens of Australia and South Africa, Americans celebrate this special day annually on the second Sunday in May. Second Sunday? Yes, okay. And the gifts usually consist of carnations, the official flower of the day. I didn't know if there was some symbolism, but we're getting it. Many other countries around the world also celebrate on the second Sunday of May, including New Zealand, Canada and India, with festivities, dinners, pampering and gifts. In Mexico, colourful Mother's Day celebrations occur on the 10th of May, which is also today. Hi, welcome to the club. Where children hand-make their presents and churches hold special masses. Egypt and several other Middle Eastern countries celebrate on the 21st of March, the first day of spring, and on the 12th of August, Thailand holds prodigious festivities in honour of its queen. in Russia, people used to celebrate on 8th of March, which is International Women's Day, but now do so on the last Sunday of November, though still typically giving presents in March. All traditions, however, do share characteristics and ultimately honour mothers and women who have brought peace and improvement to the world. Despite consumerism gradually overpowering authenticity, today will further serve as a reminder of what mothers do for us. Even though we are able to, and definitely should, spoil our mothers on any day throughout the year, this denoted day gives us an excuse to express our utmost gratitude. It gives a bit of the history, a bit of the scrolling down through the Google thing here. Nat Geo has an article called 7 Things You Don't Know About Mother's Day's Dark History. What's the dark side of Mother's Day? That seems like a much better topic for this video. I mean, you're gonna get both, but I don't know, this was an article that existed. Alright, so the first one just breathed more length into Anna Jarvis in the United States because of it being started as an anti-war movement, as the first one read. Does it say here that it was because of her mother? Yeah, so it's yeah. So the first one's just started as an anti-war movement. Second one, a former football coach promoted an early version of Mother's Day, which was accused of kidnapping the holiday, and was accused of kidnapping the holiday. Cool. Frank Herring, notably not a female, a former football coach and faculty member at the University of Notre Dame, also proposed the idea of a Mother's Day before Anna Jarvis. In 1904, he urged an Indianapolis gathering of the Fraternal Order of Eagles to support setting aside of one day in the year as a nationwide memorial to the memory of mothers and motherhood. He didn't suggest a specific day or month for the observation, but he did note a preference for Mother's Day falling on a Sunday. Local Aries of the fraternity took up Herring's challenge. Today, the organisation still bills Herring and the Eagles as the true founders of Mother's Day. Anna Jarvis did not like the thought of Mother's Day having a father in Herring. She blasted him with an undated 1920s statement entitled, "Kidnapping Mother's Day, will you be an accomplice?" Do me the justice of refraining from furthering any selfish interests of this claimant, Jarvis wrote, who is making a desperate effort to snatch from me the rightful title of originator and founder of Mother's Day, established by me after decades of untold labour, time and expense. Antolini says that Jarvis, who never had children, was acting partly out of ego. Everything she signed was Anna Jarvis, founder of Mother's Day. It was who she was. And I guess back in those days, women had to fight for anything and everything. So it kind of makes sense. I can see it being like, yeah, no, it was much more. She may have had the idea first, but she wasn't successful until after the fact. And then obviously, having put in all that work, wouldn't want it to have allowed anyone else to take credit. I can see that being a thing. So Franklin Roosevelt designed a Mother's Day stamp, or at least tried to. He personally designed a 1934 postage stamp to commemorate the day. The president co-opted a stamp that was originally meant to honour 19th century painter James Abbott McNeill Whistler and feature the artist's famed Whistler's mother portrait of Anna McNeill Whistler. He surrounded the maternal image with the dedication in memory and in honour of the mothers of America. Anna Jarvis didn't approve of the design and refused to allow the words Mother's Day to appear on the stamp, so they never did. Overall, she thought the stamp ugly. What's it matter if it's ugly or not? It was commemorating the day that you had just fought for. People, just in general, be crazy. We're not talking specific genders here. People be crazy. Point 4, Mother's Day's founder hated those who fundraised off the holiday. Right. It brings up Anna Jarvis again, making me feel like maybe she was just a little bit of a control freak and just wanted everyone to know that mothers had a day because of her. That's the vibe I'm starting to get from this article. Obviously, this could be incredibly biased, but then at the same time, so was the early 20th century. So yeah, the first paragraph of this point says, since Mother's Day's early years, some groups have seized on it as a chance to raise funds for various charitable causes, including mothers in need. And Anna Jarvis hated that. If it's for mothers, let people raise funds to help mothers. Wow. Some people. The mother of Mother's Day lost everything in a fight to protect her holiday. It didn't take long for Anna Jarvis's Mother's Day to get commercialised, with Jarvis fighting against what it became. To have Mother's Day, the burdensome, wasteful, expensive gift day that Christmas and other special dates have become is not our pleasure, she wrote in the 20s. If the American people are not willing to protect Mother's Day from the hordes of money schemers that would overwhelm it with their schemes, then we will cease having a Mother's Day, and we know how. Dear Anna Jarvis, it's 2020 and we still have Mother's Day. So, that letter you wrote 100 years ago, full of crock. Jarvis never profited from the day. If you start seeing where it's going, jump on the bandwagon and profit off it yourself. You can then put that money towards whatever it is you like, right? You could be the one selling the flowers and the gifts that should be given to mothers, and then putting that money into a charitable organisation or something that you set up, and in so doing, you still kind of profit a little bit by not only giving Mother's Day, but also then supplying gifts and charitable funds. Like, just jump on. Don't. Anyway. She never profited from the day despite ample opportunities afforded her by her status as a minor celebrity. In fact, she went broke using what money she had, battling the holidays' commercialism. In poor health and with her emotional stability in question, she died penniless at age 84 after living 4 years of her life in the Marshall Square Sanitarium. Courts heard custody battles over Mother's Day. Any guess who the first person in this first paragraph, literally the first 2 words, is their name? Any guesses? Anna Jarvis. always considered Mother's Day her intellectual and legal property and wasn't afraid to lawyer up in its defense. I know I spoke about intellectual property the end of last month, but if you're going to put something like this, which is simply just an idea, out, you're going to fight hard to have it legally and nationally recognised. You can't then turn around and dictate how it's celebrated, because you might say, no, it's supposed to be celebrated this way, but someone else might be like, yeah, that might be how it's supposed to be, but I either A, don't have the time or the money or whatever to do that, or B, you know, like there could be things stopping it from being able to be celebrated that way, or it's B, I live on the other side of the country and you physically cannot stop me from celebrating it this other way. Once you put an idea like a holiday out into the world, it's no longer yours. You can have the status of being its creator, but it's no longer yours. Anyway, she included a warning on some Mother's Day International Association press releases. Any charity, institution, hospital, organisation or business using Mother's Day names, work, emblem or celebration for getting money sales or imprinted forms should be held as imposters by proper authorities and reported to this association. No. Anyway, Antolini says it's difficult to determine from scattered court documents just how litigious Chavez was, but a 1944 Newsweek article reported that she once had as many as 33 simultaneously pending Mother's Day lawsuits. 33 at the same time. And number 7, flowers are an original tradition that endures, sort of. The white carnation, the favourite flower of Anna Jarvis's mother, was the original flower of Mother's Day. The carnation does not drop its petals, but hugs them to its heart as it dies, and so too mothers hug their children to their hearts. Their mother's love never dying, Jarvis explained in a 1927 interview. The most popular flower choice today seems to be Mum's favourite, and as we talked about before, it's the flower of the day. But yeah, the description given as why it's the flower of the day is kind of dark. It's because of how the flower looks as it's dying. Nice. And they've also got an honourable mention here. Showing the age. But we would have to re-look up the stats for this. But objections to charity fundraising and rampant commercialism have come to absolutely nothing. Mother's Day spending in 2017 was, at the time of this article's writing, which it says underneath this, was originally published in 2015, has been updated. Not all the way, mate. You could have... Anyway, in 2017, it was predicted that spending for Mother's Day was going... I'm not sure if this is internationally or not, but would top 23 billion. No, I think that's just nationally for America, because it's from the National Retail Federation. And the next paragraph starts with Americans will spend on an average of $186 $1.39 on Mum. 77% plan to send a greeting card, according to the survey, and Hallmark reports that Mother's Day is the third most popular card sending holiday behind Christmas and Valentine's Day. So, family as a whole, your significant other and then your mother seems to be how this goes when we're looking at secular holidays. About 69% of Americans will send mum flowers and 36% plan to buy mum jewelry, which is what we did. We got her a nice little charm bracelet and a charm to go on it, obviously, from Pandora, which also allows us things to get her for birthdays and Christmases in the future, which is good. We can just buy her charms. The National Restaurant Association, meanwhile, reports that Mother's Day is the most popular holiday of the entire year to dine out, with nearly half of all Americans hitting a restaurant, according to NRA research. Which is, yeah. So, I mean, looking at now, that sort of shows you the kinds of things that we do. Obviously, social distancing laws and the fact that most nice restaurants that you'd probably be hitting up today are likely closed, in keeping with social distancing laws. Aside from that, cards, flowers and jewelry are still all able to be given. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's all I've got. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me, and the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload new ones. Again, links in the description. I'll put both the Nat Geo one and the whatever it was I was on first. I'll put both of them down below. Yeah, until next time, guys, keep your head screwed on.